Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be honest with you guys from the get-go. Um, this is this has been like the Murphy's Law day, where if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. In fact, noise just started, so if you hear a loud humming, so I'm not in my office space. All my pretty like books and like fall stuff are not visible. I am sitting out in my living room because my husband is sleeping. And if my cat gets let out, like the whole world is gonna end. So let's just establish that right now. She's not easy to stream with. Like she will do the worst things possible. But I locked her in the bedroom, so he has to deal with her, and which makes him really mean. But we have to get through this. So I'm trying to get my excitement back up. I hope you guys are excited too. I don't see any viewers yet, but we're going to start out with some kind of announcements, and then we're going to get into the bulk of the live stream. So what I have for you guys today is I have an unboxing in the midst of Murphy's Law Day. See, yes, Murphy's Law Day. I've had a ray of sunshine, and that is my candles came in from Little Mouse Bookshelf, and I'm very excited to be able to open those on camera with you guys. So, anyways, I want to start off with some announcements, and I have a very, very golden notebook that is a gift from one of my readers. So, the announcements today. First off, it's a release day live stream. So, the Raventree Society Season 3 is out. That is all 5 episodes from the Raventree Society in one collection. So you can get the ebook and read through all 5 episodes, or you can actually get a paperback of the book, and you can have all 5 of them in paperback. You're not going to be able to get the episodes individually on paperback. So the only way to get the paperback and to have, because some people prefer paperback, the only way to have paperback is if you get the collection. So that's kind of why today is such a big deal. Get it out, you can sit down and you can read through all of the episodes and just binge all the way through the entire series for Halloween. So it's perfect, and it's a good spooky read because they're all ghost stories. So yeah, that's awesome. So we're working blind here because all my stuff is on my coffee table over here. The Get Fictional candle, custom candle contest just ended yesterday. So I have emailed the winner, and this is no longer available to win, but we have plenty of giveaways coming up, not the least of which is tomorrow. The custom candle from Little Mouse Bookshelf is up. And actually, she's going to be joining me for a live stream. Victoria from Little Mouse Bookshelf is going to be joining me for a live stream next weekend on the 10th. And we're going to be talking about the whole process of creating the candles, her inspiration for it, kind of talking about the series and how it relates to it. But we're also going to be making a few announcements. So I hope you guys will be able to join us for that. I'm really, really excited to be able to talk to her not really in person, but on video, and just enjoy that time with her. So that's going to be great. The other announcement is Season 1. So I have it right here. Season 1 is going to be on sale tomorrow through the 10th. So the ebook is going to be 99 cents for the week as a Kindle Countdown deal, which is great. But also for the first time, the paperback is going to be discounted. And I have it down as low as I could possibly get it. So you can get this gorgeous paperback. I'll just show you, like, my designer is Pool Publishing Services, and she does an incredible job. Like, these are just my favorite thing ever. So they have all these beautiful little details, like the crows. But then between each episode, she also has the Raventree Society logo, which I drew myself. So I'm kind of extra proud of that. And then, of course, the gorgeous cover. So yes, I'm very, very excited to be able to make that available for you guys on sale, and it's only for a week. So yeah, and then also I have a link below this video, but I'll add more links later after I'm done because, like I said, Murphy's Law. I was kind of in a rush to get everything up. Where you'll be able to find a link below the video to the event page, and that's where you'll be able to find links to some of the giveaways, some of the extra goodies. You'll get to see all the character art that I've done, and then also find links to the ebooks. So go ahead and click on that if you want to see what's coming up. The event's going through Halloween throughout October, and some of it's just fun little things like watching movies together. I'm not making any bets, but yes, I'm getting excited again. It's a really big deal to have this series out. It's my first fully published, finished series, and I'm pretty excited about that. So, those are all the announcements. Like I said, check out the event page if you want details and everything else. I'm going to go ahead and put these up behind me. That's season 2. There's season 1. That's about as close as I'm going to get for all my Raventree Society goodies. But I have here Little Mouse Bookshelf. So I'm going to open this for you guys. We have the candles that are going to be in the giveaway starting tomorrow. And they're custom candles. And like I said, we have some more exciting details about that in next week's live stream. But some of it is just goodies that she said she threw in for me. So I'm extra excited. So yes, let's get to it. So this is going to be awesome. So she threw in some extras for me. Some of her cards, which these are different from the ones she had before. They're gorgeous. Look how shiny. So she has her cards for me. And so those are, some of those I can send to people when I do the giveaway. And then I have here, she sent some of her stuff. I actually already did an opening. She sent me a whole bunch of trials, which are amazing. And you'll be able to find that video. I'm not sure where it is, but I'll post a link. I'll look for it and I'll post a link. And you'll get to see all the stuff she added. But I'm going to be including these in the box when I send them. So there's instructions for the woodwick. There's a list of all of her incredible candles from her shop. And I got a couple of those. So that's awesome. You need all of those things. And yes, I have no space, so I'm very sorry. Okay, so now we get into the good stuff. Packing peanuts. No. So she included some melts. So this is essential oil sweet amber musk. I love the scent of a nice essential oil. Ooh, and that's really nice. Okay, so we have a couple of those. And I'll work through, I don't know what's all in here, but I might do a few small giveaways after the event with some of these goodies. And then we have, purple. Squad 312 Forever. So that's probably a reference, Little Mouse Bookshelf does bookish and fandom candles. So that's probably a reference to something bookish related. Ooh. That's good. And then we have Book Boyfriend. So we have a few of those as well. I'm going to give that a smell and see. Ooh. Yes, that definitely works for Book Boyfriend. Are you someone who has book boyfriends or book girlfriends? Let me know in the comments if you are someone who does that. I personally have not had a book boyfriend or book girlfriend since I was a teenager, and I wouldn't have even called it that because I've never been a very romantic person. Romance is just not my thing. But so I probably had crushes here and there, but fictional boyfriends or girlfriends, not really. But I give the draw, I really do. So everything else is packaged beautifully and bubble wrapped so that it will not be busted up. And so I'm digging through. It looks like there are 2 different scents. And they look perfectly fall created here. If I can get them out. Yay for fun noises. Ooh. Headless Horseman, perfect. I'm actually reading through Legend of Sleepy Hollow right now on my Discord live updating as I read. So so this is actually perfect for that. And these are melts. Ooh, it's perfect for fall. It's like a caramely pumpkin smell. So which works very well for Headless Horseman because it's very food centric. It really is, and that's probably it because Ichabod Crane himself is very food centric. But the author definitely seems to enjoy fall treats as well. So he would probably be one of those basic people like excited about pumpkin spice everything. So we have another one, which is perfect for fall. Halloween tree. So I'm not sure what that's in reference to. If you know what that's in reference to, let me know. Sorry, my husband poked his head out. Ooh. I like that. And that's, if you look, it's got some cool like modeling purple and brown. It's like slightly pumpkiny, but also has like some like woody scents in it, which makes sense. Makes sense. Yes, I crack horrible jokes. So we have two more smaller candles in here, and I'm leaving for last what looks like my custom candles, even though I want to tear into them right now. So I'm really, really excited. I don't know if any of you guys saw the previous video where I opened them up, but I already know what the scents are because she sent the testers. But I haven't seen what the finish, like in the black glass and everything, what the finished candles look like. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm tearing into another of the smaller ones. I should have brought like scissors or something. I had the first thought to like cut open the box so I wouldn't have to do that on screen. But I didn't have the forethought to be like, hey, I'm going to be opening bubble wrap. I need a whole bunch of like scissors. Nah. Whole bunch of scissors, probably just one. One would do. Ah! I feel like a kid playing with bubble wrap. Circus of Dreams, inspired by the Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern, which for some reason always makes me think of Princess Bride. I don't know if the author of Princess Bride has a surname. So it's called Circus of Dreams, Autumn Leaves, Sea Salt Caramels, Mulled Cider, Chestnuts, and Bonfire. Ooh. Ooh. That's really good. And I'm not usually like into like fruity smells. But that one's really nice. And it has like these beautiful shimmers on it. And it's Woodwick. I get insanely excited about Woodwick. Like it's probably not healthy. And I'm dropping things. It's a good thing I have carpet. Okay. Last of the little ones, and then I get to like my custom candles. So I'm really excited about those. Has anyone read The Night Circus? I haven't actually read it. Okay, so this one is the same one, but in black. So if anyone's read The Night Circus, like comment, let me know if you like it at all. So yeah, this one's in black, and it also has the red glitter. I just have some on it again. It's amazing. Okay, so my little slightly gothic soul enjoys the black. What do you guys prefer? Do you like dark candles, or do you like lighter candles? Like if you see my custom candles, and I requested a few things, but mostly I just kind of let the artists who I commission like do their thing, because for me, an artist does their best work when they're inspired. So I just want to give a little bit of background before I tear into these. Well, while I'm tearing into these, so it'll be like interrupted by bubbles popping. So I was recommended Little Mouse Bookshelf by Bookish Bethany, over on Bookish Bethany, the YouTube channel. Definitely check out her channel. So I was recommended to reach out to Little Mouse Bookshelf from her, and Victoria from Little Mouse Bookshelf like jumped in and was like really eager to help me out. And I took a look at her candles, and I just love them. And so when I talked with her, I was like, look, I have some like ideas, but really my desire is that like they look like your candles, they look like your brand, and that they have your touch, because the most important thing to me again with the artist is that like it's inspired. So I gave her like all of like my Pinterest boards, my Spotify playlist, and then I even sat her copies of my books, and guys, she read through all of the books, and she took inspiration from those, and she just like took it and ran with it. And so this is the result of that, and it's so. And yeah, she sent me so many like testers, these like complete like full candles. Like I was expecting like just like little testers, no, like full candles, gorgeous, that I still am terrified to burn because they're so beautiful. And like look at all this stuff she sent me, guys. Like this is incredible. So I definitely recommend you go check her out. I have on the event page, which I put below, if you scroll to the bottom, it gives the special mentions, and you'll see links to both of the candle makers that I requested custom candles from. So definitely go check her out, and definitely be there when we have a chat next week. So I'm going to show it to you with the top on. Beautiful and a black and gorgeous and a black tumbler, and which really makes this gorgeous label stand out. And it's like a misty woods, which is perfect and very, very on brand for Raventree and Woodwick. Woohoo! And so you can't really see in here. I should have brought the other candle too, but it's like a gray and white modeling. Very beautiful. And I've already smelled these multiple times, but oh my goodness, they're so big. So I have two of those. One is for me because I'm really greedy with my candles and I want one for pictures and for holding on to for the rest of my life and passing down to my children and my grandchildren, or my nieces and nephews. Yeah. So, and that's for the platypus. That's my phone ringtone. Yes, I'm a nerd of all stripes. So, probably shouldn't even open this one, but I want to see both of them because that's me. And I have to get more bubble wrap when I send them. But, so there's one for me to keep forever and to never burn and to hug and to love and smell every day. And then there's one for you guys to do the same. So make sure and join the giveaway, which starts tomorrow, and I already have the links on the event page, so you can check it out. Yes, you can get one of these gorgeous, so gorgeous. I love it so much. So I think that's everything except for packing peanuts, which my cat will choke on and die from because she's not very bright. And that is the unboxing. Like I said, definitely go check her out. I'm surrounded by candles now, and I'm very happy. But we're going to move on to questions. So, I'm trying to put these down in a nice way. So I have a list of a few questions here. And if you have any other questions, like hop in and let me know. By the time I'm done with these, so I can answer them for you. I'm really excited to get, these are some really great questions. So even if we don't get any more, like I have like a lot to talk about here. So if you have any questions, and I have my tea, make sure I leave them in the comments. I am drinking my tea today from my Haunted Mansion mug, which is perfect for the season. And for the topic, and it's already a little cold. This is my life, guys. Okay, so, hi, Abigail. Abigail Hayes just jumped in. It's really good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I was just about to start on questions. So I have a few. I'm going to start with the ones from my Discord. So from Once Darkness, username, obviously. I have a couple here, so I'm going to start with those. And she has some really great questions, guys. So, what are my favorite and least favorite horror tropes? And if you check in the live event and also on my website, like I did a blog post about specifically gothic horror, my favorite gothic horror um, tropes. Um, so this, it's not going to be redundant, but because this is horror in general. So I can tell you right now my least favorite horror trope, and that's going to be not slashers, but torture porn. Can't stand torture porn, and I also can't stand like the extremes. And these, it's gonna sound obvious, guys, but I mean the extremes of that when people like actually record real life things. There's been a few movies that have done that, or like just revel in human pain. Like that's not what horror is about. That's just it's not necessary, and no one's benefiting from that at all. It's just like you just can't look away, and that's apparently why there's such a thing now. That, and I guess fake blood is cheap, but that's my least favorite for sure. So my favorite horror trope, I think if I'm gonna have to pick a favorite, I've been noticing more and more, and I don't know if it's like the time of life I'm in or if it's just something I've always been interested in, I guess. But and Abigail agrees. She says it's all shock factor. It's gross. It's not necessary. Um, so yeah, so my favorite trope, I think, would be the way that horror addresses death and our relationship with death, because we're so afraid to talk about it openly, especially in American culture. And where I grew up overseas, they didn't even name their kids until they were about 3 years old because they expected them to die. Um, and here in America, we tuck it away very nicely in hospitals and behind closed doors and in, rooms with psychologists, and we don't allow ourselves to recognize the reality of death and that it's there and like work through our relationship with it. So I think that's probably one of my favorite tropes from horror is when it thematically addresses death and kind of our relationship to it. So that's like really, really, really broad. And that's not going to be like a specific, like, oh, hi, like, my favorite one is the girl trips when she's running away from the slasher. But, that's the kind of stuff that I love about horror, that it allows you to address those kind of deeper issues. And Abigail says that's such an interesting cultural element. Yeah, it's quite a change coming back to the States with that. But, okay, so another question from Once Darkness. How do I come up with, or how do you, as you posed it, come up with ghost ideas, and have you scared yourself with them? So I specifically come up with ghost ideas from what scares me, because I'm a coward, and I never used to watch even the mildest horror when I was younger. So I had nightmares for days after watching Ghosts in the Darkness, which isn't even horror; it's just a thriller with lions, or Brothers Grimm, which I actually really love now, which is it's not even horror really. It's just like this gothic retelling, and that one I think it was probably like a week and a half before I could sleep again, which is ridiculous, really ridiculous. But that's how much of a coward I was when I was younger. So I had a lot of fodder to go off of just from fear factors. But I also struggled with a lot of sleep disorders growing up. So I was a sleepwalker, but also I had sleep paralysis, which if you've ever experienced sleep paralysis, let us know in the comments some of your experiences. It's quite common apparently, and it's really terrifying and really bizarre. But I used to have a lot of that. And sometimes I'd have it combined. Like once I tried to break out of my second story window because there are vampires in my room, apparently. So I was experiencing sleep paralysis symptoms, but I was sleepwalking while it was happening, which isn't supposed to happen. But hey, I'm not normal. But yeah, so that pretty much stopped when I got married, because yeah, I have my husband in the room, and I still have, like, every once in a while stuff happens, but not very often anymore. We've had a few instances where my husband has, like, walked in and woken me up laughing because I'm doing something really weird. But yeah, so that's where I get most of my ideas from. And have I scared myself? Like, yes and no. Like, I just have to be careful. Like, I don't lay in bed in the dark and plan my stories out at night. So, but yeah, and I don't scare very easily anymore because I guess I used it all up when I was younger. So, next question. What did you learn working on these stories? So, um, if you know anything about the books that I typically write, I love. Um, I think my cat just escaped. Yes, she did. Things are about to get crazy, guys. So, where was I? Yes, I love research. So I did a lot of research into, like, just some of the history behind certain things. I actually used, there's a local house that is considered haunted, and I actually used that in one of my stories. My cat's already trying to choke herself to death unpacking peanuts. This is why I locked her in the room, guys. She's crazy. um, anyway, Abigail said, at least it ended in laughter. I'm not entirely sure what she's referring to at this point because I'm so distracted by Crazy Cat. But I'm trying to refocus. Okay, where were we? Yes. So I did a lot of research into that particular house. Like, I actually got to go there and walk around, and I talked to the, because it's a museum now. So I talked to the lady in charge and was just asking her about, like, some of the stories behind it, and took some pictures, and, saw the creepy doll and heard about how people see, a ghost in the window and all those kind of things. So that was a lot of fun to actually put that in. It was actually not a whole bunch of people like favorite episode, but I loved it because I actually got to go there and see everything. And so when I was writing it, I got to be like, oh yeah, this is like really creepy. Okay, so I'll use that specific instance. This is not the only thing that I learned, but this specific instance. So this is a Victorian house. And while I was walking through, like, taking pictures and looking at these, like, gorgeous little Victorian things, I came across one which was a framed wreath of flowers, and it was really pretty. It looked like it was like white or something. I commented on it, and the girl who was kind of leading me through the tour, because I was the only one on the tour, small little house, she said, "Oh, well, fun fact, this, that wasn't here where the house when it came. Some of the stuff was, but that wasn't." But she said, in the Victorian era, they used to, when someone passed away, especially a woman, they would cut her hair and they would use the hair to create these flower wreaths. And I actually have a picture of it. It's like gorgeous. And sometimes they would do it for multiple family members. So you could have, up to 5 or 6 women's hair, like, in these gorgeous wreaths, and they would keep these to remember them by, which is really pretty, but also really creepy. So if anyone has read season 2, episode 4, you'll see how I brought that in specifically, because that was awesome. It creeped me out, and it was amazing. So I used it. And Abigail says, that's awesome. Yes, it was really fun to learn about. So yeah, that was my fun fact, my favorite fun fact that I learned while I wrote this series. My cat is trying to not knock over the computer. I will do my best to keep her away. So, what is my favorite thing about the series? This is the last question from What is Darkness? And then we have 2 from my fellow Phoenix fiction writers. And Abigail says, no, not doing the wreaths, not in my real house. You don't want any beautiful human hair wreaths in your house? I'm going to have to post a picture in the I don't know if I can do it in the comments, but I'm going to have to post a picture on social media after this addressing the human hair wreaths and show you what it looks like. It's really cool. Okay, so my favorite thing about this series, mostly the themes. My cat's making everything shake. Mostly the themes, because I'm largely like a thematic type writer. She's back. She's back. It's my zombie cat, guys. So I'm really into like themes and messages, and I was dealing with a lot of things personally when I was writing this. So I think that was probably one of my favorite things about this series was the themes. But I think if I can pick something that's not thematic that I haven't like talked about before in detail, especially, I love the fact that the Raventree Society, despite being a horror and despite having a main character who's really messed up, has probably the healthiest family dynamics of any story that I've written, and they're one of the healthiest family dynamics of any story that I've read. So it was really important to me to create a really caring and loving family for the themes of the story specifically, but also because I feel like that's really important in fiction, especially, you know, we often see like the orphan, which is a really common trope, but especially in modern fiction, you know, they're either the orphan or their parents are like horribly abusive in one way or the other. So it was really good to be able to address a positive family, but also like realistic in the way that like they're not perfect. They mess up, and they probably contributed a good amount to the main character being so messed up, despite the fact that they're a really healthy and great character, because we're human beings and we unintentionally wound each other all the time. So that's probably my favorite part about the series is being able to write a healthy family dynamic, and you know, especially with it being step family and all that kind of stuff. So a blended family, I should say. My cats, guys, I'm very sorry. So I have two more questions. Real quick, Abigail said, I really liked that there was that healthy environment for those characters, especially since they're going through so much. Yes, yes, thank you. It was really important to me, and I loved it. And that's why my favorite character, I've said it before, my favorite character is the stepfather, Carl. I love him. He's amazing. He doesn't do everything perfectly, but he's pretty amazing. So I have two more questions, and then we'll open it up for anyone else who has any. One question is from Grace Crandall. She asks, why do you think people tell ghost stories? So I think there's a lot of different elements. It probably depends on the story. But I think one of the biggest things specifically with ghost stories is that relationship to death. Because every culture has to address it. Like every culture has human beings who are mortal creatures who die. And we have to have an understanding of what our relationship to death is, whether it's something to grieve, whether it's something to celebrate, whether it's somewhere in between, what it means for those we love who pass on. And so I feel like when a lot of cultures tell ghost stories, what they're really trying to do is they're trying to understand death, and they're trying to pick apart some of their fear to make it a little bit less terrifying. Which is also why I think horror is so important, because while horror is, you know, you want to scare people, at the same time, you're not just scaring people just for shock factor. Like I was just talking about before, how much I hate torture porn, because a story that just like shocks your audience and leaves them there, like if they remember, it's not going to be in a good way. It's just going to be like, hey, watch this movie and you'll be really shocked. Like it's not going to have any like positive impact in their life. They're not going to grow or be healthier because of it. And it's just like, why? Why does a story like that need to exist? And I'm not saying you're a horrible person if you watch, I don't know, the Soft franchise or whatever. I'm just saying I don't personally see the benefit of it. And I don't personally watch them at all. But yes, we are on ghost stories. Yeah, I think the reason why ghost stories are so prevalent in so many different cultures is that trying to understand specifically our loved ones passing on. My cat is tearing everything apart. So it's probably a good thing we're coming to the end of the questions. Last question from Hannah Heath. She asked, this series has a lot of great side characters. Thank you, Hannah. Do you think you'll ever do a spin-off story with any, and which one? So I actually posted a question on Twitter not too long ago addressing this specifically. So I definitely have my favorites of the side characters, and I definitely want to play around with some of them. So I have a few things that I want to try with the Raventree Society, and some of them are just like wild fantasies of what I might do in the future. So I'm playing around with an idea with one character, Samuel. So I'm playing around with that in the future of possibly going off in that. Right now, I'm actually writing a kind of short story flash fiction from Hannah's point of view. I really love Hannah, and she just doesn't get a lot of screen time. And she's one of the few characters that I feel like she needs a little bit more development, even though she's a pretty solid character, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I still haven't quite figured out about her. So I'm really excited to play around with that, and I'm working on that right now. As far as like really delving into the world more, I feel like I've told the story that I need to tell with the Raventree Society, and I can definitely, like, there's room to play with more because they're just simple ghost stories. So you can always, people who watch Supernatural, we've gone, 15 seasons now on ghost stories. So there's always more you can do. And I think there's that possibility that's open. But at the same time, there are a lot of other horror stories that are kind of like demanding more of my attention right now, and other themes and things that I want to explore. So I have a few plans, and I'm just going to tell you like the two solid plans that I have right now. So one of them is a short story that I'm working on right now. And I'm almost done with that. And hopefully that will be out sometime in October. It's just like a fun little extra. And then I'm planning on doing a episode, and it could probably be up to a novella. So I'm planning on doing that around Christmas of next year with Kyle and Hannah when they're a little bit later in life, because I want to kind of check back in and see where they are. But it's going to focus on Kyle and Hannah and actually Samuel. And there's going to be a ghost that's inspired by, but not the same thing as a Wendigo, and it's going to be a Christmas episode. So I'm excited about that. I haven't started on it at all, and I haven't done a ton of planning, but that's what I'm looking at right now. So those are my two like solid plans from what I'm aiming for. And there are other things like in the works, like audiobook will probably be out sometime next year. And I'm working on kind of like an illustrated hardcover special edition. But yeah, as far as like spin-off series or like a whole other like episodic series like the Raventree Society with another character, I'm not planning on anything like that right now. So I'm going to check, and if you guys have any questions, like get them in now. I'm fighting off cat. So let's see. Abigail said, is it easier, and she says this is a question she has, is it easier for you to read horror or watch horror? So it probably depends, because most horror I don't enjoy watching if it's like gory or slasher or something like that. If it's like intentionally disturbing, I don't enjoy it. But at the same time, when you read something, it's using more of your own imagination. So I think in a lot of ways that can be creepier. So I think, like, for instance, I read The Haunting of Hill House last year, and there's nothing in there that's like shown or like specifically terrifying, and yet it's really terrifying because it allows you to use your own imagination to supply the horror. So I think in general, I get scared easier with horror in fiction, in books, but I'm more disturbed by like slasher, gory type horror on film. And Abigail says, me neither. I enjoy being able to filter it more when I read it as opposed to just watching it. Yeah. You can definitely, you can skip past the stuff that bugs you in books too. So, okay. So we're at the end of our questions. Unless Abigail has another one. Thank you so much for joining and especially for all your comments and interaction. Abigail, you've been really great. Yes, so keep in mind to check out that event page and see what else is coming down the line. I'm going to get off before my cat makes anything worse. And I do think there's some truth to black cats being supernaturally mischievous because, yes, she exists. Okay, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for celebrating with me. Bye.